Hey everyone, my name's Elizabeth. This is Museum Greg Reads, and today we're going to go over my April hopefuls. So as I've probably shared, I can be a bit of a mood reader, which means I can derail my reading plans really easily if something shiny comes up, a new book, a new readathon, a new whatever. So we're sticking with hopefuls around here because I can't guarantee I'm actually going to be reading any of these books. So let's dig into it. I'm going to start today with 3 books that I'm carrying over from last month. The first of which is going to be the Rubicon audiobook, which is by J.S. Dews and narrated by Eunice Wong. I'm really enjoying this one. I just struggle a bit when it comes to audiobook. I have to be doing something tactile or something that I'm concentrating on. Often I do it when I'm knitting or weaving or spinning yarn, but I've just not been in the right headspace for that lately, so I've not been doing it. The other place that I'm really more prone to doing audiobooks is in the car, which is where I've been reading Rubicon. And I work from home, so I don't have long stretches in the car as often. I am really looking forward to finishing this though. I've only got about 30%. I'm really loving this narrator to the point that I've gone and researched other things that she's read. And one of those things is a favorite of mine from last year. She also did the audiobook for The Mountain and the Sea, which I absolutely adored last year. I read it physically, but now I'm kind of curious about reading the audiobook for a reread because I liked her narration that much. And typically, the thing that keeps me from an audiobook or keeps me from finishing an audiobook is that I don't like the narration. So, found a new favorite audiobook narrator. The next book that I want to finish is A Soul to Keep by Opal Rain. This was the Classic Literature Book Club pick for March. I'm having a really good time, but it's a nearly 600-page smutty book, and I'm just not always in the mood for it. So while I did start it during the first sprint, I'm just kind of taking my time with it. There's actually some pretty decent world building in this one, so I'm excited to see how it plays out. This was Catherine's pick, Catherine Zofre from Catherine Zofre. She's my monster romance guru. Anything she tells me to read, I'm gonna pick up. She's just got the best taste in monster porn. What can I say? The third book that I am carrying over is actually Dark Forest. This book takes my full concentration. This series, this author had a really kind of chaotic March. So I didn't pick it up, frankly, because I wasn't in the right headspace for it. So I'm really hoping that I can get into this one, get stuck in, and find out what on earth is going on. I'm nervous. I'm nervous for what's going on, let's be frank. I'm very nervous. That brings us to the hopeful section for April. And I do really want to dig into some NetGalley arcs, but I'm going to be really, really soft with myself for that. I'm not going to name any names. I'm just going to go in and whatever sounds interesting at the moment from my NetGalley shelf, I'm going to read. Because let's be clear, I have 25 arcs that are waiting for me on my NetGalley shelf, and I need to do something about that. But I find when I put pressure on myself to pick a specific one, then that's the last thing I'm going to pick up. So we're going to be really gentle with ourselves and just let the winds take us wherever they may when it comes to my NetGalley. One book that I really want to make sure I get to in the month of April to bring myself some joy is going to be Nick and Charlie by Alice Oseman. This is a short story about our lovely boys as they're transitioning into a new stage in life. Nick's going to be graduating from high school, and what does that mean for their relationship? So excited. I got the really cute new US copy, and I'm excited. I mean, look at these babies. I just love them so much. And then I have a buddy read that has been in discussions for a very long time and has not quite come to fruition. I'm very hopeful that this is the month. This is finally the month. But Sarah from Sarah Shelves and I are hoping to buddy read The Martian by Andy Weir. I saw the movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought, oh, well, I've seen it now. I don't need to read it. And then I read Project Hail Mary. And I am obsessed with Project Hail Mary. It was very reminiscent for me of some of the science-forward sci-fi that I got out of Michael Crichton in my teen years, which the nostalgic happy part of my body was just singing for. And that made me really intrigued about picking up The Martian. But let's be clear, I'm not interested in picking up Artemis. I've heard no one say a single good thing about Artemis. That said, Sarah read Project Hail Mary, and to my great joy and surprise, really enjoyed it. And so we got to talking about possibly doing a buddy read. Well, she messaged me at the start of this month and said she was ready. So I'm just ready for her to tell me when she's ready to actually start diving into these pages, and I'm here for it. Now we have a little section of book series where I just need to read the last book. They're book series that I have enjoyed. 2 of them are duologies, so let's be clear, it's not like I'm sleeping on book 5 of 6 series right now. So I figure April could be a good month to just do some spring cleaning of my shelves and make sure that I'm not leaving series unfinished unnecessarily. So TBR spring cleaning, I guess that's what we're gonna call it. So the first one is Robo Genesis, which is by Daniel Wilson. And if you can't guess, this is the second book in the Robopocalypse duology. So Robo Genesis is set 3 years after the takeover of AI in the first book. And as the back of the book will tell you, 3 long years in which ordinary people waged guerrilla war that saved humanity from the brink of annihilation. But a new, horrific enemy has emerged, and the resistance is called to fight once again. And in a world where humanity and technology are pushed to the breaking point, their one hope may reside within their former enemy. So, I'm excited for that. I like a good chaotic AI. And I'm really, really hopeful that my sweet baby Namora still makes an appearance, though I know that my heart is probably going to be broken. Next, I want to complete the Great Cities duology by N.K. Jemisin with The World We Make. This started with The City We Became and was a really fascinating, magical realism where at a certain point, cities around the world can reach sentience. So cities have their own life and existence and soul, and they are represented by avatars, and we enter the story as New York is drawing its first breath. And there's an enemy, a big enemy, or as this synopsis says, enemy with a capital E, who is out to stop these cities from gaining sentience. What's interesting about New York's birth is that there's not just one avatar, because New York is such a diverse city made up of very complex boroughs. It gets multiple avatars. I think this is going to be particularly interesting in light of a lot of current events and a lot of things happening in New York that you may or may not see on the news, mostly because of the representation of Staten Island. So I think this is probably an interesting time to continue this duology. I know that, New York, probably with the help of Sao Paulo, are going to be going after this enemy and trying to protect themselves. I don't know, but I wonder if we might get a new city in this book, if there might be some first sparks of life for a new city. I'd be really curious to see what N.K. Jemisin thinks is the next city on the list. But all in all, ready to have a good time. But I literally bought this on release day, so I have no excuse for why it hasn't been read yet. And I'm really excited to finish out this duology. Last, but certainly not least, is a series that I'm sad to be done with. And that's the Wayfarer series by Becky Chambers. I have the last book here in my hand. This is Galaxy and the Ground Within. I've not read the synopsis on this one. I know I'm gonna have a good time. I kind of want to go in blind and just experience this last book in this way one last time. I'm actually kind of heartbroken that this is the last book. I love this series so much. I'm gonna miss this world. I'm gonna miss these characters, and I hope she's not done with them. I just really hope she's not done with them. So wish me luck as I say goodbye to this world that I love so much. And once I finish this, that only leaves the Monk and the Robot series for me from Becky, which means I'm almost done with her catalog, and that also makes me very sad. I need more. I need more. You got any more of that Becky Chambers for me, please? Thank you. The last book I want to talk about as a hopeful for April is actually Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. So while I'm wanting to complete several duologies and series, why not, start a 9-book series? This has embarrassingly been on my physical bookshelf since at least 2016, and I haven't gotten to it yet. The early excuse was that I wanted to wait until it was completed, and now it's completed, and I have no excuses except that it's a 9-book series and it seems very intimidating. I've heard nothing but good things. I've never had a friend who's read this and said, don't, it's not worth your time. Also, my friend Katie from Katie's All Books has just read this and wants to buddy read the rest of the series with me. So I gotta catch up so I don't leave her waiting. I also think this is on Vish from Books with V's reading list. My girl Kay is also reading this right now, and I think Sarah from Sarah's Shelves has even said that she was interested in this one and was thinking about reading it this month. So apparently everything is coming up Leviathan Wakes these days, and I don't want to be left behind. So a short list this month, but it's because I only read like half of the books on my hopeful list last month, so why lie to myself or you guys by pretending I'm reading other things? I might not even read these things. We'll see. So if you've made it this far, I'd really love to hear what you are most excited to read down in the comments below. Is there anything on my list that you're interested in? If you enjoyed this, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps my channel grow. And if you want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me. And until next time, bye.